hope we're live. We are live. Okay. Okay, I think I'm just going to start talking because I like talking and I've got lots to say. Where is the camera? Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to say hi and welcome. My name is Chana. I am coming to you live from Israel, and it's really exciting to be part of the light of the infinite, whilst hopefully connecting to the light of the infinite. That is the intention for this talk, this sharing. I am hoping, B'ezrat Hashem, that we will get to activate the lights of Kislev, and to do it tonight of all nights, which is the full moon of Kislev. And the full moon is the time when the energy of the month is really at her ultimate power and potential. And so to be able to share this Torah with you, this Torah that is so close to my heart, I have been trying to live by this wisdom for at least the past decade, as I have been navigating my way through life as a woman, a wife, a mother, a human being on planet Earth. And it gets pretty dark here. Life can get pretty dark here. And I have found that the wisdom of the months have really opened me up to so much healing and so much guidance as I navigate my way through life. And I think one of the major themes that we're going to look at tonight is this concept of entering into the darkness and revealing the light. So I want to just set an intention that B'ezrat Hashem, what I share should be from my heart to yours, that we should all receive exactly what we need to receive, and that through our connecting with the light of the infinite, through our sharing, through our desire to connect and to learn and grow and heal, that we should really be able to bring so much light into our lives, into our families, and into the world. And by light, I mean consciousness. I mean new consciousness, because this is what it's all about. New ways of thinking and seeing and being, and not being limited by what we think we know or what we have been taught to believe. So let's just dive right in. There's a lot to cover. I want to start by saying how, I have a teacher. I once heard the Hebrew calendar, which has 12 months in it, referred to as the original 12-step program, because we're taught through our ancient mystical teachings that each of these months is imbued, embedded with a spiritual light. And each of these months contains wisdom and guidance for us as we're navigating our way through lives. And the more that we learn about these particular dimensions within a month, each month has 12, we enter into, as Rav Pinson says, this ever-ascending spiral of insight and guidance and understanding and practical tools of how to meet our lives, how to meet our reality, and how to face the challenges that all of us are going through. And there are many, so many. With that in mind, if you just want to hold in mind anyone that you're praying for right now to have a refuah shlema, that the gates should really be open, because the gates are open. The gates are always open, and this is something that really Kislev leads us to integrate, is that this relationship with the divine is alive and real and available for us to tap into at any given moment. And the beauty of living aligned with time is that there's specific wisdom and entry points, things for us to think about and feel and do that can really connect us with this source of blessing that can illuminate our lives. So let's jump right in. Okay, so I actually wrote the name of Kislev out backwards. I'm so impressed myself, because the name of each month contains within it clues as to what some of the major themes are, what some of the things we should be looking out for, what are the ideas for us to think about this month. It gives us a context for which to experience and view our lives. And so if we look at the name Kislev, we can actually split this into two. And we have two words. We have kis and lo. Now, kis is connected to the word to cover. This also could be a pocket, we'll touch that in a minute, but this idea of covering, of concealment. And the lo is him, or to him. So this idea of, let's say, him is Hashem, although I very much think there's a he, she, it thing going on, but for the sake of this, let's say him. And this idea that the divine is concealed. But also, if we look at the law, the gematria, the numerical value of law is 36. Now, 36 is a big number for us. Every number is a big number, but 36 specifically for Kislev, because we light 36 candles on Hanukkah. And 36 alludes to this Or Haganuz, which is this original light that we are taught shone at the beginning of creation and channeled into the world. And this pure, pure divine light or consciousness was then covered and hidden. And part of what we're taught is that as we're going through life and as we're meeting our challenges and we're going into the darkness, we are, by allowing that to happen, the whole remit of that, the feeling of it, the experience of it, the acceptance and surrender to it, we uncover the light. Now, I also want to just touch upon this word kesel, because kesel is one of the ways in which we can do that work, that we can uncover that light. Kesel, we're taught through our sages, means it refers to a place that we go to that is fortified and that strengthens us. It's a place that we can rely on. It's a place that we can yearn to go for, and it's a place that we can use to protect us. And so that's very much what the energy of Kislev does. It takes us, it protects us and contains us. But also this idea of Kesel is this reliance that we have and this trust that we have a place we can go to for protection. And that place is to our Creator, to activate that relationship that we have with the divine and open to the blessing and healing and influence that that can have on our lives, the illumination that that can bring to our lives. So inside this is also the letter Samech. Now the letter Samech is the letter of this month. Each month has her own letter. 12 of the simple letters, and Samech is the only one of the simple letters to be totally contained. Now, we know that this month is Samech, and it's interesting to note that last month in Cheshvan, the letter was Nun. And Nun really, it's connected to this concept of nefilah, of falling, the space of constriction where we feel like we just can't. And along in this month comes the Samech. Now, Samech is also from the word Someach, and we have in our Tefillah, in Ashrei, and in the Amida, Someach HaNoflim, that uplifts the fallen. And that is part of what the energy of Kislev does. It uplifts us this month and contains us. The letter itself is a circle, and a circle is continuous. There's no end, there's no beginning. It alludes to the transcendence of the divine, how everyone is equidistant or equally close to the center point, unity consciousness where we all connect, and boundaries. I mean, it's always good to work on boundaries, but especially in Kislev, we're looking at like, how do I contain myself? How do I protect myself? Or how do I use Hashem's protection or channel that protection? And so through the Samech, we're able to gain a lot of wisdom. And it's also a really good idea to just meditate on the Samach, envisage ourselves in the Samach, surrounded, supported, uplifted by the Samach. Now the Sefer Yetzirah, which is one of our very ancient books of mysticism within Judaism, some believe it goes all the way back to Avram Avinu, and the Sefer Yetzirah, which is actually where a lot of this wisdom comes from, tells us that the Samach is connected to sleep. So sleep is the chush of this month. Every month has a certain bodily function or bodily part that we are invited to focus on and bring healing to. And this month it's sleep. And sleep is, we're all awake, but you could argue that spiritually we're all asleep. And so the energy of this month has the potential to awaken us from our spiritual slumber. And so there's really this invitation to pay attention to your sleep, go to sleep early. I wish I could take my own advice. And also to take note of our dreams. Now, I'm not going to go into all the Torah Parshiot, the Torah readings of this month, but it is interesting to note that out of the 10 dreams we hear about in the Torah, 9 of them happen in Kislev. And so we're really invited to pay attention to our dreams. Mindy Ribner suggests get a dream journal that kind of notifies your dreams, you're taking them seriously. We're taught that dreams have 1/60th of prophecy in them. So whilst we're not to take our dreams totally literally, in this month we can pay attention to them and see what are they highlighting to us? What are they guiding us? And we're also, it's not just our dreams while we're sleeping that we need to pay attention to, but it's also our own personal dreams, our highest vision for ourselves, our aspirations. And this is a month to think about that and meditate on that. I once did the Artist Way, and she does this exercise, and one of them is like, what were the things you dreamt about as a little kid? Because often in those are keys to what our purpose is. And so there's really this invitation to reconnect with our dreams and to listen out for divine guidance, of which there's a lot this month. Now, we're going to look at the permutation of Hashem's name, because this is also a real indication of how is the energy of this month manifesting as it's channeled down through the 4 worlds that we're taught of, right? So there's the idea that we have the 4 letters of Hashem's name, the Yud and the Hey and the Vav and the Hey. And the idea that each month the divine light is channeled through these letters, and each month they are configured in a different way. Each of the 4 belongs is connected or alludes to one of the 4 worlds. And so if we look at the configuration for this month, it starts with, first we have the Vav and the Yud, which are the masculine letters, and masculine is this paradigm of giving. And then we have the Hey and the Hey, and they're the feminine letters, and that's the paradigm of receiving. So the Vav being first shows that the Vav is the closest to Ein Sof. It's the closest to the infinite light. It's where then the light is channeled down through the Vav, through the world of Atzilut, the highest world, and it's coming down abundantly. Vav is a clear channel. It's it's straight, it's open. And so this light is coming down through the Vav and then coming into the next world, which is the world of Biriya. Biriya we can understand by thinking about our minds. And so with the Yud in Biriya, it's telling us to focus. Don't think a lot this month. We're not wanting to apply logic this month. We want to go beyond logic this month. So we want to contract and focus our minds so that light can get through and we can allow it to channel down into the next world, Yetzirah, which is the heart space, the world of angels, which is open and expansive. So this is really a month to try and connect with the whisperings of our hearts, to try and notice or at least open to the guidance of our angels. In the Torah Parshiot also, we hear a lot about angels over these weeks. And then the light channels down into the world of Asiyah, which is this world that we live in, the world of action. And so we're really opening into this expansive space of movement and of doing, and of really to just keep trying to move forward. So Bezrat Hashem, we should succeed with that. How can we move forward with enthusiasm and passion and purpose? Well, let's think about the zodiac of this month, which is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a fire sign, passionate, adventurous. It's connected to Jupiter, and the energy is very positive and optimistic, lots of new opportunities. This month we're really invited to take risks and be adventurous and say yes. If we look at the symbol for this month, we have the centaur. Now the centaur is half human and half animal. The bottom, which is like the horse, really represents our animal energy, our freedom of movement, our desire to keep going, keep growing, keep achieving, and use that energy for the good. Whereas this top half, with the arrow reaching upwards, is reminding us where to direct our consciousness, to really rise above these more animalistic urges, and we know them well, and to direct our consciousness upwards and beyond. The arrow can shoot up into Shamayim, it can go beyond, into past our limitations, past what we think is or is not possible. And so I think for me that's been a really powerful idea to connect to, this ability to kind of reach forward and beyond. So we've done the zodiac, and now we are gonna just touch a little bit on Hanukkah, because Hanukkah, there's just so much to say about Hanukkah. It needs its own 5-hour shiur plus, and that's probably just an introduction. But some of the major themes that I've been thinking about and learning about this month with Hanukkah that have been helping me to connect to the energy of Kislev is this idea of rededication. Hanukkah is a time where we rededicated the temple. And if we think about what was the temple, I feel that word's so limiting. If we think about the Hebrew for it, it's the Beit HaMikdash, the house of holiness. This was a place where people, all the peoples of the world, would come to connect physically, experientially with the divine. And so in this time of rededication, we're really asked to think what do I want to reconnect with? We're really looking at ourselves and our purpose and passion, and also our relationships, in real time with husbands and wives and parents and children, but also our relationship with our Creator, our relationship with the divine, and being open to experiencing that connection. Rav Daniel Katz says, we're not living in an age of dogma. Do not take my word for it. Experience it yourself. And one of the ways in which we can do that is, or what opens us to that, is when we light the Hanukkah candles and we look at the lights, when we look at these 36 candles and we reconnect with that divine light that flooded the world at the beginning of creation. Another major theme of Hanukkah is Thanksgiving. Interestingly enough, on Rosh Chodesh Kislev, which is when we get that first initial download of potential new consciousness, this year landed on Thanksgiving, which, since being in Israel, I'm familiar with this concept. In England, we don't really have Thanksgiving. But so this idea of gratitude, and we know, everyone knows now that gratitude is this amazing doorway to openness and expansion and possibility, and really seeing the more grateful we are, the more we see the good in our lives, and the more good we invite into our lives. Other Hanukkah themes, one of the lessons I heard from Rav Pinson, which was very powerful for me, was this idea of, we know that there's the miracle of the oil, and that it lasted so long, and there's the miracle of winning the war, but what we don't necessarily always think about is the fact that somebody even bothered to look for the oil. you know, the Beit HaMikdash was totally destroyed and defiled, and everything was burnt and ripped, and it was in such a state of destruction. It was so dark. The fact that somebody actually thought and had hope and trusted that this can't be it. There has to be a reason to this. There has to be a way out. There has to be a miracle. And so we really want to open to the possibility of miracles. So whatever challenges we're facing in our life, we tend to understand them through our paradigm of reality. But this month we have the ability to make some space in that for the possibility that maybe we could have a whole new perspective. You know, if you take the nun from Cheshvan and you add it to the Samach of this month, we have the word nes. We have the word miracle. And what is a miracle? Something that we didn't think was possible. We didn't think was possible. And so during this month of Kislev, in Hanukkah, when we're really connecting to the number 8, the 8 candles of the 8 nights, that the oil miraculously just kept burning for 8 nights, even though we were expecting it to just burn for 1, it went beyond our expectations. And so really we're looking to integrate this 8 into our consciousness, this idea that miracles can happen, and my limited way of thinking doesn't have to be the only way. There could be another way. And so when we open to that possibility, we are inviting that more into our lives, and we're inviting that relationship that we have with the divine that is constantly available to us and constantly yearning to connect with us, alive and available and ready for us to tap into. And so I find that the Kabbalah of the months, the wisdom of the months really provide doorways, portals for us to access this light and bring it into our life and use it for growth and healing and transformation. So I'm amazed that I'm finished giving you, I thought I was going to talk for like 40 minutes. So I do actually have some time now where I would love to share some practical tools that we can take with us for the rest of the month. And if we have time at the end, we're going to do a very short meditation. Because really, when it comes to connecting with the divine and it comes to exploring that aspect of our consciousness and that dimension of reality, we really need to try and get silent. Not totally silent. I actually love how Jewish meditation isn't always asking us to empty the mind and be nothing. No, oftentimes we are given something to focus on, something to think about and to meditate on. It actually, Jewish meditation originally was very much an active meditation. I just call it intentional thinking sometimes. So really, meditating this month is a very, very worthwhile way to spend our time, even if it's just for 1 minute. But obviously, ideally, 10 minutes is a great amount of time to just sit, be in your body, relax. If you want to light a candle and meditate on a flame, that's also a wonderful way to connect with our soul and to connect with the light. Absolutely, on Hanukkah, you must do that. My orders, no, it's down. Another practical tool is prayer, you know, and prayer doesn't necessarily mean going to shul and finding a minyan or even opening a siddur, although I really do recommend it. But just speaking out loud. Out loud is key. Not to keep it all inside, but to hear ourselves speaking. Because when we speak aloud, we're talking to all the levels of our soul. We're speaking to all of creation. We're even hearing ourselves in new ways. I find when I pray aloud, it's such a healthy way for me to process. You know, even like Baruch Hashem, I have kids and I get like a bit stressed sometimes, and I find I can say, oh, I'm starting to feel stressed out. I think that if everyone doesn't get quiet, I might start like even just speaking things aloud allows me to release some of this and to surrender. And that's also a theme of this month with the sleep, right? In order to sleep, we've got to trust, we've got to let go, we've got to surrender to what is and let the mystery unfold and settle and take over. Okay, next practical tool is to do mitzvot. Now, the word mitzvah literally is connected with the source of the word to connect. When we do a mitzvah, we are opening a channel to the divine. And when we do them consciously, it elevates it to a whole new level. Praying for other people, I didn't mention it also. There's a tremendous amount of energy available this month for healing sicknesses and illnesses. So to pray for other people is also a great way to invite that prayer and blessing and healing into our own lives. We've already talked about dreams and the suggestion of Melinda Ribner in her gorgeous book Kabbalah of the Month, Dream Journal. Gratitude we talked about, and Mindy Ribner also mentions about strengthening this can-do attitude. We really want to try and get into a headspace this month where we're just not limited by our usual paradigm of thinking, where we have that question of maybe it could. So I really want to bless us all this month to be able to, please God, open ourselves to receiving, open ourselves to believing, and open ourselves to connecting with our source of life, our source of healing, our source of connection, our vitality. And we should really feel that come to life in such a vibrant way that it propels us forward on our journeys of becoming, on our journeys of healing, and helps us all fulfill our unique purpose, because each and every single one of us is here for a reason. Nothing is accidental, everything is intentional, and everyone can do something that nobody else can. We just got to be able to trust ourselves, trust our gifts, and show up. That for me has been my biggest lesson this year. Just showing up and trusting that Hashem will figure it all out and make it all work. And if it doesn't work out how we're expecting, that's okay. In fact, that's how it should be. And that really in everything there are keys and lessons for us to understand, like, what am I meant to be doing now, and what can I be learning in order for my ultimate growth, and also what strengths do I have that I've not yet connected to? Because really these challenges and darkness that we face in our life push us to a place that we have no choice but to surrender, to cry out, to call out, to get help, and to discover and unearth who we really are and what we're capable of and how strong we are. So we should be blessed to succeed, Bezrat Hashem, and it should be a beautiful month and a wonderful Hanukkah for all. So we've got 5 minutes left, and I'm going to spend that time guiding you guys through a beautiful, sweet, short, powerful meditation that I love doing whenever I'm in a kind of blocked space or I'm feeling low energy. I got this from Rav Dovber Pinson. He has a book called Visualization and Imagery. I really recommend it. And really one of the areas of our consciousness that we want to be refining these days is our imagination and gaining control of our minds, because our thoughts can take us to some crazy places. I'd also really recommend checking out Rav Daniel Katz's Elevation program to understand more about human consciousness within the context of Jewish psychology and Kabbalah. But okay, so let's give ourselves permission to just take a couple of minutes to really be here, to be present, and to feel ourselves in our bodies, on our chairs. And we're going to take 3 big breaths. And with each breath and each exhale, we're going to feel our body relaxing, especially our forehead, our crown, and our jaw, our jaws, and our chin and shoulders, and feel our body relaxing. And close our eyes And there might be distractions and noises and thoughts, but just to not dive into those, just accept and let them pass. And we're going to imagine that in front of us we see a wall, a really big wall. And this wall is tall and thick and wide and impenetrable. And it's casting a shadow on us, and it feels a bit heavy and intimidating. And as we're looking at this wall, we see in front of us there's a really small doorway. And we're going to go towards that doorway. And we're going to see that there's just enough space for us to squeeze through. And we have to really bend in and push ourselves through this door. As we come out on the other side, we feel this open, expansive light, a sense of relief. And we notice that we're dressed in brand new clothes. And we're able to stand up really tall and strong. We feel a sense of optimism and opportunity. And we allow the expansiveness and the light of this new space to envelop us, to integrate, to merge with every single cell of our being. And take a few breaths here. And when we're ready, we're going to turn around. We're going to walk easily back through that door, taking that sense of optimism and openness and expansion and lightness with us. Really feeling deeply connected to our essence, to our light, and to the sense of possibility. And when we're ready, you can open your eyes. B'ezrat Hashem, please God, we should be blessed to carry this wisdom with us, to carry a sense of opportunity and newness as we move forward and navigate the rest of this month. If you want to learn more with me, feel free to follow me online. And also, please check out myjewishsoulmate.com. This is a new project that I'm embarking on with my family. Free platform for singles all over the world, no matter who you are, where you are, what you believe or don't believe, there is a space for you. And also, if you want to access awesome Chassidut and Torah for our time, Torah to elevate our consciousness and bring us healing, you can visit my website, geu.la, Geula. I've really enjoyed sharing with you all. Thank you for your time and sending much love and bracha to us all.